Hello, hello. This is Jay Odin, and this is another talk show episode. First off, I just want to say thank you to everybody that's been watching these. Please leave a comment down below to anything that any questions that you might have, or anything suggestions that you want to give. Anything in that regard, I would really appreciate it. Today's episode is going to be entirely different. I kind of want to try something else out. Instead of giving advice, I'm actually going to be critiquing my old work. And what better way to do that than to talk about one of my first stories I've ever completed, Black Cloud. We're going to be going through this. I drew all of this with Manga Studio, which is Clip Studio Paint before Manga Studio. Manga Studio became Clip Studio Paint after it went through, I don't know, a lot of changes or whatever. I don't know, whatever. This is the very first one that I did digitally. I was trying to see exactly how I could get used to drawing digitally, and it was very fun to go through all this. So this is the first chapter. I might have another episode where I go through episode 2 or chapter 2 and then chapter 3 and so on and so forth. If you are a patron of mine that I think has paid $15 or more, then you probably have access to this inside of the J Odin Oldies. So, definitely go check that out if you haven't already. If you are just, watching this online, I might put this on YouTube if you are watching this online there, or if you are watching this and you're not a $15 patron, then, you could definitely, like I said, go pick this up on my Gumroad or something like that. But without further ado, let's get into this. This is Black Cloud. I don't remember why I came up with this title. I don't remember anything about the story. I'm seeing right here, it says Chapter 1, Roken, which I believe is the name of the town, but I have no idea. So we're looking at this character walking and, in this poorly drawn background. Oh man, the lines are so thick. There's some texture on the ground, but it's just squiggles. This just does not look good in my opinion. But I mean, his proportions are all off. I'm gonna be critiquing all of this. So let's get to the next page. The shadow looks strange. Like it's I don't like this at all. All right, so this is the first page. We get to see this guy. He looks kind of cool, I guess. I mean, his face is long. It's like the background is, look at the perspective. Oh my God. It's horrible. Oh man. But I kind of knew the basics of, introducing the character. Like I'd have him coming out of this panel and it's full body. It's pretty cool. We get to see all of this, play out the way I'm doing it. So, if I'm not mistaken, I think what I was trying to do was have it be a continuation from this. So he's walking, and then you get to see him actually walking in the front. But it just it looks really bad. And then you see him right here again. The backgrounds look horrible. I like the camera angles though. Like this is a good variation to show exactly where he is in relationship to everything. And then we get to see this person running out of this very lit hallway. So they're running out. I was also drawing my speech bubbles at this time. I didn't know how to draw them. They do not look good right here. But yeah, he's like, huh? And then he's like running. I don't think I knew anything about speed lines at this point, because there should have been speed lines definitely, at least in this one or this one, but whatever. Then you see like this big dude, he's coming and he's like, hey, come back here, you thief. And like you see him, he's stopping on a dime. He's like, shh, I'm gonna stop right now. So I don't know, whatever. But yeah, like he's just humongous. I don't know, like 8 feet tall. Like dear Lord, this dude is huge. He also has a random belt. Like you definitely could have put that in the next loop, man. So anyway, he's like, I'll go get him for you. He runs after him. Oh, no, I'm sorry. He jumps after him in the most horrible perspective possible, because this is like far away. But like we're looking up. Man, this is horrible. So he's jumping after him. Again, no speed lines. And like he's running. And then we see like the first image of this person. Again, the background looks atrocious. So we get some speech. It says, in the land of Roken, anything can happen. This land has an endless amount of potential. In it, end to be fulfilled, but this information was only known to a select few in the town. This is where a rumor can become a fact. If believed, this is where one can do or become anything if thought of hard enough. This is the city where a human can slay a river. Roken, a city of beliefs. Oh man, this is ridiculous. All right, first off, let me just say, when it comes to the speech, I really should have put either a border around each letter. You can. I'm not sure if you could have done this in Manga Studio. Probably, because you can do it in Clip Studio. But you can basically make a white outline on all the letters, so that way it would have been a lot easier to read this. So that's one. Two, I probably could have just put it inside of a giant square to explain, like, this is like the speech bubble, I guess, of this page, or whatever. So I should have done one of those two things to make this easier to read. However, I do have speed lines, so clearly I could have drawn them. I guess I was still learning. I mean, obviously, like I said, this was the practice run. I remember I drew all of this also when I was in 11th grade, so this is a very old comic, but, whatever. So let's get to it. Talking about the story itself, okay, so we're going to get to it eventually, but this entire idea did come up in my head. It was like, how could a person fight water? Like, I don't know why I came up with that, but that is kind of what led to this entire story. And oh man, this is horrible. We're gonna see how horrible I executed this plan, but whatever. We'll let's get to it. So he grabs this person. Turns out this person is a woman. But anyway, he grabs them right there, and he turns around. This kind of looks cool. It's, not as clear, but, whatever. And then I like this panel. I think this looks cool. And then he's like, huh? Okay, so the only thing I don't like is this is the exact, one, I got, speed lines right here if you see them. I did not erase those correct. But that's the same pose as this. So I would have varied that up a little bit more. This I like, but I made the shading way too much because, like, there's no shading right here, but then there's shading right here. I mean, I think what I was going for was more of a cinematic look where everything on the last page was a lot more quick, whereas, for this page is supposed to slow down. So, like, I think that's the reason why I have the tones right here. But anyway, he lets her go, and then she jumps away. Right here, I could have, like, zoomed out a little bit more to show, like, the hands to actually, like, show him releasing the hand. I think that would have been really cool. Man, this the background looks horrible. Again, I did really well with introducing the character. Like, they're coming out of the the panel. Like, you get to see a full body. She is hugging the sword tight. She's like this. Could you imagine running and jumping off of buildings like this? Like, oh my gosh, no. This is horrible. Okay, so anyway, this guy is, dumbstruck. He can't really, form a sentence. He's just looking at her. And then she's like, look, just leave me alone. And she runs away. Again, I did a horrible job with these speech bubbles. That looks horrible. And she jumps off. He's just there. He's like, come on. And then, like, he, I guess, is pushing himself to, follow her. So he, jumps off and he's like, running some more. He's like, huh? And, again, the horror, man, the perspective is so bad. Like, he looks like a giant right here because of these buildings with no windows, no doors, no detail. It's just wooden blocks. Biscuit, what are you doing, girl? Sorry, I got my dogs in the background. If you've watched any previous episodes of mine, then you know that all of my dogs are coming in and out of my office right now as I'm reading. So anyway, I gotta feed them soon because I've been doing this for a couple hours, filming a lot of episodes. So we're gonna get through this, and then I'm gonna color night, I guess. But yeah, so he gets up here. He's like, huh? Well, what's going on? He sees the river, and he's like, where'd she go? And this is so pointless. Like, why am I? It's ridiculous. So I shouldn't have done that, but whatever. It doesn't matter. So all right. And then he's like, it's getting dark, I better head home. Again, this entire panel, I should have done a lot more detail on the water. Oh, man. one day I will redraw this comic. I will make this comic so much better in the future. I think that'd be really fun. One day. Anyway, he walks back to the only building with a door, and apparently this fat dude is sitting inside of. He is inside of the building. Like, I don't know how that happened. This is crazy. But anyway, he's like, "Did you find them?" Again, no speed lines. But there's speed lines right here. And then he's like, "No, sorry, I lost them." This is another thing that I hate. I was not, thinking about the flow of like each panel. So like he's looking over here, but he should be looking right there. He should be over here. Everything should be leading to the next panel or the next page. So like, for instance, he's looking back at the last page as opposed to this next panel. And, that kind of just throws it off. So, and on top of that, as you can see, he's looking to the right, but he's looking to the left right here. So, I mean, it kind of just throws off the reader. It's throwing me off. I mean, it doesn't necessarily matter in the grand scheme of things, but still. And then he closes the only door in the city. And then he's like, "Okay, whatever, later that night." So, I think this is a weird transition, but, pretty interesting that I made the night sky darker. So I think that's cool. That's probably the only cool thing about this sequence, but, whatever. And then he's sleeping somewhere, and he's thinking about this girl. I see. Okay, so right here, I should have drawn a panel of the girl, because right here, he's just saying beautiful. Yes, I'm sure you can put the pieces together. He's thinking about that girl, but it would have been a lot easier and a lot better sequential art-wise to actually show him looking or thinking about that girl. So having an image of like her face in some way, shape, or form would have been really good right here. The background is horrible. Like the shading is interesting, but whatever. So, okay. So next panel, next page, he goes and he's like, "All right, this is where I lost her." And like, he's looking around and like, he hears that this kid, like he just got stung by, I think, a jellyfish is what it's going to be. But this kid's proportions are completely off. He has a grown man's leg, a baby arm. It's crazy. But again, I did a good job at introducing the character with a full body image. So I thought this was really cool. Yeah, I have a small, not a small. I have a close up of like the injury, and then you get to see like what he looks like zoomed out. So I think that's pretty cool. Man, I could go on and on about this, but I'm not. He's like, "A jellyfish sting," so he immediately knows it's a jellyfish sting. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've never seen a jellyfish sting, even to this day. But I did not look at Google reference or anything. I just said, you know what, this might work. So like, don't do what I did. Actually, look at reference. I think that'd be really fun, or really good for continuity wise. And also, this lake or river or whatever is like the waves on this are like insane. Like the wind is blowing crazily, but like nothing else is moving. Like whatever, man. So he's like, a jellyfish sting. He picks him up and brings him to the medic. I'm not sure how he knew where the medic was, because again, all of these buildings look the same. This is the only other building with a door. It says one tree. Like all of these buildings are created with wood, like gigantic thick blocks. Oh man, this is horrible. So he gets I'm not even sure what time period this is. I have no idea. Like these characters are wearing somewhat modern clothes, but like, and they can go to a hospital, but they live in a town that's like everything's made out of wood. Like, I have no idea what's going on. So anyway, I hate the fact that like these words are so small. But he says that should do it. Just take it easy. The medicine should take effect soon, and that twill numb the pain. Wow, man, always reread your work, guys. And then he says, "Are you this father?" And then he lies and says, "Yeah, I'm his father." And then he's like, "All right, so I guess the bill goes to you." And he's like, "Yeah, yep, I guess." And then like he's happy. He has this torn up shirt. As a doctor, looking at this kid who's clearly like look at his outfit and look at his outfit. Like you can see if he is the father. Hey, I'm gonna call the police now because clearly this kid's been neglected. Like this is not okay. I like, so the entire story, like, we're about to get into it, but like this little kid is homeless. So I mean, like, I should have made him a little bit more dirty and like all sorts of stuff. It would have made this even more funny for him to say, "Yeah, I'm his dad." It's like, okay, well, I'm calling the police because like clearly you're neglecting this child. Like, has he eaten? I mean, maybe he was trying to get the jellyfish to eat and he got stung on the way. Like, I have no idea, but this is crazy. So anyway, he says, "Mister, thanks." He says, "Hey, no problem." He's I guess proud that he did that, but he's not looking at the kid. Oh man, this is my phase of not really knowing about sequential art. I just was going off of what I had seen in manga, and I was like, you know what, this would be a good panel to draw him just smiling. Let me do that. And then he was like, "I'm Han. What's your name? Gray. Nice to meet you." Again, he's not looking at him. And then he's like, this is the only opened eye panel. Okay, whatever. He says, "Can I hang with you for a while? My place is boring." "Sure, as long as you don't mind helping me look for this girl." So this military, like, you find out that he's like a commander in the military. Like, if I'm not mistaken, I'm pretty sure he's a general or some type of high-ranking official in this like rogue military called Black Cloud, which we're gonna get to. But his entire mission was just, I'm gonna walk around. Oh wait, there's a hot girl here. I need to go find her. And then like his entire thing is, I need to find this girl because I want to make sure that I look like a fool in front of her again by stuttering and all this stuff. So that's all he wanted to do. Crazy. It's ridiculous. Obviously the background is horrible. Just all these squiggles. Oh man, it's so insane. He says, "What does she look like?" Because Han is, he knows everything, I guess, about everybody. And he's like, "Just amazing. Beautiful green eyes, long black hair." See, okay, this is another thing that I wish I would have done better. I should have put the words right here, because you see the ... and then the ... So that means that this is the first one and this is the second one. But you're going up. Like, this is not how you're supposed to read it. See, how I read it just now was, "What does she look like? Just amazing, beautiful green eyes." You see, so like you got to always keep in mind the Z. Like, you always want to go with the Z. You never want to break that because that makes it a little confusing for the reader. So heads up. But yeah, I mean, this guy is smitten by, this girl. And then he says, "See if you can catch me, haha." And then he runs away and he's like, "What?" He's like, "Crap, he's going to get himself hurt." And he's like, "I hate running." So again, this military general hates running when, I mean, he has to run. I'm sure that's a part of his job. He's a military commander. And like, you're going to see later on that he fights. He has 2 swords on his back. If you hate running, whatever. It doesn't matter. I mean, I guess you can hate running. It's just, maybe I'm being too harsh on myself, but this is insane. And I have the Naruto face because Naruto was like the big anime at the time. And, Han is, running off and he's like, "Look, I just paid a lot of money to, give you this ointment. I don't want you to hurt yourself because I don't have any more money, man. I know I'm a commander in the military, but I don't have money." Healthcare is still expensive in whatever age this is. I have no idea what time period this is. But anyway, he runs off. He goes, okay, so I was trying to be, cool with different angles and different poses and stuff. I was clearly lazy in this panel, but I hate the way this is because of triangle panels. Triangle panels suck. Don't do triangle panels. You can if you want. I mean, they usually don't work that well, but whatever. I will say that the way I have this looks a little better in terms of the flow of the comic, because you see him, he's running, his leg goes down to a shadow, and then you see him, he's coming up, and you see his like arm. I should have had his arm coming up over here or something, but then it could go up to like this panel. So that's the flow of where it's supposed to go anyway. But this panel, I clearly got lazy. I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna draw like, a tone, say this is water, and then they're running on a beach, the biggest beach in the universe, next to a city with no doors or windows. Completely created out of wood. There's 2 people, a really fat guy and a doctor. And those are the only people. Whatever. Anyway, so he runs off and they go over this mound. And when they get there, he's like, "Why are you running?" And they say, "Look." Okay. All right. So I know what happens next. I'm going to get to it in a few seconds. But anyway, he's like, look. And then he points out this girl. Han is amazing to go off of this limited description of beautiful green eyes and long black hair. I mean, I assume only because there's already only 2 people in the town that maybe there's nobody else inside of this town that has green eyes. But like for him to instantly know, hey, that's who this is. Like, and you know, that's amazing. So he's like, look, he sees the girl. He's like, what? How oh my God. How did you know? Like, this is the girl. And like, she also has a, you know, messed up shirt. I hate the fact that I didn't erase this tone behind her hair. You know, texture looks horrible. And then he's like, she's my sister. Okay. All right. So it makes a little bit more sense that like he would understand that, you know, green eyes, you know, he's seen them his entire life, I guess. But even still, this is crazy. He said, I don't want to go home because it's boring. And then he's like, you need to help me find this girl because I just paid all this money for you and your, you know, jellyfish wound. And then he's like, okay, well, let me run back home and show you my sister. But then you find out that they're homeless. Let's get into this. She's my sister. Okay, well, let's just return you to her then. And then he's like, Sophie, Han, where have you been? Who is this? Too many close-ups, you know, mid shots. I don't like that, but you know, whatever. What was that? Oh, okay, whatever. I'm sorry, girl. Hold on. My dog is saying, hey, it's hungry time. And I'm hungry. I want food. I will get it to her in a few. And then he's like, Sophie, this is, and then she's like, I know you. It's like, you're the person who tried to catch me yesterday. It's like, wait, I just wanted to ask you something. And I forgot exactly what the question is. I think I remember, but it'd be funny. It was like, I just want to ask you something. You want to go on a date sometime? Like, I mean, I think it'd be great if, you know, maybe we could just hook up. Like, I don't know why you're living under the shed in the middle of the wood, of like, in the middle of this beach. That's like, oh my God, it's horrible. Anyway, again, you know, I should have put this like right here and, you know, this like right here maybe. So that way we could do that. Or this or something like that, but whatever. Anyway, there's also only 3 panels on this page. I should have had more panels, so whatever. And then she's like, all right, go ahead and ask. She has like all this sass now. And then he's like, well, I just want to know, why were you stealing the weapon? What was the point? Okay. He's like, townspeople have no idea what we homeless road can go through. All right, so again, homeless, okay? Like, I mean, you know, you can see like 2 other people other than, so there's currently, there's 2 people in the town with no doors or windows, and there's now 4 homeless people. They could easily overpower those 2. Like, I mean, that really big fat dude probably would be, you know, a challenge, but I'm sure that they could take him down. I'm positive. So anyways, like, these people don't really know what homeless road can go through. And then he's like, what? It's like, in Roken, a rumor can become a fact. Anything that is believed hard enough has to become reality. This knowledge was not available to the homeless people 12 years ago when he was created. Who? Okay, first off, if that's the case, if you believe hard enough, anything can happen. Why don't you believe hard enough that you have money and you're not homeless? Why don't you believe hard enough that I have a job and like, I can make sure that I can, you know, like, afford shelter over my little kid, you know, my little brother's, you know, like, head. Like, this is insane. And then he's like, who? The river Kahul. All right. The river Kahul. Kahul, I don't remember like why I named the river Kahul, but I thought it was a cool name at the time. So then she's gonna go through some backstory. She says, he says, what do you mean? 12 years ago, a rumor was created. Okay, all right. So we're gonna find out why they're homeless. Let's see if we find that out. It was said, this thing looks like a gigantic testicle. Horrible. It's absolutely horrible. It's like, it was said at night a horrible monster created out of the river would come out to terrorize all that lived by him. Kahul would trap their spirits in the head of his body, keeping all who saw him here forever. He would enter their dreams and kill them slowly. Okay, all right. So it makes more sense why they're, you know, homeless in terms of like why they're still living at like the beach. I do think that, I should have explained that whenever their spirits are being taken, like, maybe that takes away their willpower to like actually think and believe something for, I don't know. I should have did something like that to make it seem a little bit more plausible as to why they can't just believe that they're not homeless and then not be homeless. But none of that matters. Well, I mean, whatever. We'll get to that in the future. But anyway, he says he would enter their dreams and kill them slowly. All right. And then again, I made this like really, really small, so that's why I'm zooming in. The life expectancy of somebody who sees him is only up to 30 years old. I would have died 5 years ago. Like, man, I'm glad I live in this world. We've done all we can to escape him. We've even tried fighting back, but it's no use. Then why steal the weapon? Which is a very valid question. It's a very, very valid question. Again, there's nobody else that's homeless inside of this shelter. It's only 4 homeless people and 2 townspeople. Oh man, this is hilarious. All right, why steal the weapon? It gave us hope that one day it would help us. Okay, why would it help you if you're fighting water and you can't use it? Oh, okay, I've decided. I'll take care of him for you. Okay, all right. So this is when he's like, look, I think you're hot, so I'm going to do this because this is going to get you to fall in love with me. So, all right. So then after that, I remember when I drew this image, I thought I was making this look so cool, but I mean, the background looks absolutely horrible. There's no one. Absolutely no one. I mean, I would assume you can make the argument that the homeless people are actually in the town trying to make some money or, steal some food or maybe some more weapons or like whatever. But I don't show anybody else in the town. So like, I mean, clearly there's only 4 homeless people and 2 townsfolk, of which one of them is, a giant obese man who makes weapons and the other one is a doctor. Like, who clearly is not helping the giant obese man because he would probably be healthier if he. It's crazy, man. It was hilarious. All right, so then some time passes. I don't say exactly how much time. All we know now is that the moon is out, and then you see all these squiggles. These are the homeless people. They're supposed to be the homeless people. Where do these people come from? And on top of that, I mean, in all honesty, it kind of just doesn't even look like homeless people. It looks like some type of like beech wood or something. Like, this looks insane. This is gray. Are you sure you want to do this? Yeah, I'm sure. Now get back. Something's about to happen. Okay, all right. So I didn't even explain. I explained that it happens every night, but I didn't explain exactly what time every night, this thing comes up. So, this thing comes up. It says, so this is it, huh? This is the giant testicle. Cool. So, if I ever draw this over, I promise you, I will make this so much better. But you get to see this guy. He's about to fight this giant water river testicle. And he's looking at him. And then he's like, and he jumps up. He's like, Black Cloud, twin Omega Strike. All right, so this is the first mention of Black Cloud in the entire comic. We are 32 pages in. This entire, this 3 chapters. I'm only going to go through the first chapter in this episode. But this 3 chapters, I think in the second chapter, maybe at the end of this chapter, you find out the Black Cloud is military something. But, yeah. I mean, I don't know why I called it Black Cloud. Like, if this is when I'm going to explain what it actually is. Like, so that's already crazy. But he says twin Omega Strike. He attacks this giant testicle, but it just goes right through him because it's water. And then he tightens up and he says spell number 6. And he puts out his 2 fingers. Again, I mean, whatever. Whatever. So he's like, I'm going to freeze you now. He says ice. And then he says tornado slice, and then he goes through them. All right. So after he does that, you can hear the water screaming. And then he shoots out water bullets, and he hits him. And then he's like, "Gray," and this girl is like, "Oh my god!" This strong commander is fighting for me, but You just got it. That's the pose. That's what I hear when she makes that pose. Like, oh my god. So anyway, whatever. He hits the ground. He loses one of his swords. And he says, "Come on, buddy, move. That girl is watching." And then this river tries to punch him. And then he's like, "Kahul, I don't believe in you anymore." All right. I understand what I was going for right here, but I had a poor execution when I did this. I'll explain later on, but we're going to get into this in a few seconds. So he says, "Kahul, I don't believe in you anymore." And then he's like, "What?" And then like he grabs him last second. He says, "Gray, Han, are you all right?" You would think she would say Han first because that's her little brother. But no, this strange military commander came out of nowhere, and she's like, "You become first, Gray." Han, are you all right? He says, "Everybody, if you stop believing in Kahul, Gray can defeat him." So again, how do you know that these are people? I don't think you would, because it doesn't look like people. It just looks like there's 3 people out right now. Okay, now you see these other people, and they said, "All right, we will." If it was that easy, like, why didn't they do this before? Like, and he's like, "All right, this will be the last attack. Spell number 16, freeze." All right. So before I get to the next page, what I was going for was, again, I set this up where, whatever is believed hard enough, whatever rumor that is believed hard enough inside of this city will become fact. So what was believed was apparently this river comes to life and steals the spirits and kills you slowly. Everybody that lives next to this river, of which a bunch of homeless people apparently live next to this river. And their spirits are being taken slowly. For whatever reason, they never thought to themselves, "You know what? We need to stop believing that this rumor is actually..." They never thought, "We need to stop believing that this rumor is fact, because if we stop believing in it, like per the rules of the town that we live in, this river will eventually die if we don't believe into it." So what I was going for was Kahul was going to say, or Han is going to say, if we don't believe in you, then basically you lose your power. You lose your will and your ability to terrorize us. And everybody's like, "Yes, okay, we got this." And you can see everybody's like, "Yeah, man." Like, yeah. And she's like, "Okay, will do." So then you see him. He says, "This will be the last attack. Spell number 16, freeze." And then he shoots this gigantic blast. I don't know why he didn't do this in the first place, because clearly it is covering him entirely. And after he does that, he says, "Black Cloud, Omega Alpha." All right. So first off, let me just say I really like the fact that this is different angles. Clearly I should have made this look cooler, but the fact that it's 3 different angles, it reminds me of Naruto. Every time they did like a really awesome, like I'm thinking about the Rasengan when he first learned Rasengan and he hit Kabuto. That was at 3 different angles. I really loved that sequence in the anime and also in the manga. It looks really, really cool. So that's what I was trying to go for. I don't think I executed it well, but I, tried, and I think that's really cool. And then again, I was like heavily into Bleach at this time. Tetsuga Tensho with Ichigo's like black blade Bankai and stuff like that. So that's what this is going for. Now looking on it, knowing everything I know now about One Piece, it also kind of looks like Black Haki, that lightning. But basically, he says Black Cloud, Omega Alpha, and he shoots this gigantic black beam to attack it. And when he shoots it, he was supposed to be ice. So there should be shards everywhere, but no, you just see some squiggles as if it's just water. And on top of that, for whatever reason, this is not toned. It definitely should have been toned because it just stands out now. But yeah, so you see that. And then he's like, "It's over." And he falls down. I want you to look at the proportions of this body. Look at these baby arms. Look how long this dude's legs are. This is crazy. I don't know where his other sword is, but he's like, "Gray." And she's like, "Don't die." And then he's like, "Sophie." And then he grabs her face and he smooches her. It's crazy. This girl is like, this oh man, this entire story is just insane. Like the fact that she like is like, you know what, I love you. I've known you for 3 hours, and I know you tried to attack me a couple days ago. But thank you so much for, finding this gigantic testicle. I'm so appreciative of this. Here are my lips. And then he's like, give me that face. He grabs her. You see this grip that he has? Oh man, this is hilarious. All right, so then after that, he's like, don't worry, I'll be back. Your beauty is breathtaking. And then he dies. Gray, the River Slayer. Gray's last words, I'll be back. What did he mean? To be continued. So clearly there are other homeless people. I just didn't draw them because I was lazy and didn't necessarily know how to, do this inside of my comic. But yes, I leave it on a cliffhanger. Because chapter 2, which I'm not going to read it right now, but there are 3 chapters in total. This one I get a lot better at drawing, and the fights are a lot cooler. But we're going to talk about this Black Cloud chapter 2 in the next episode. But again, I just want to reiterate that I did not talk about the military, like Black Cloud or anything in that regard in this chapter. So I don't know why or how anybody would know that unless you keep on reading. So definitely keep in mind that I'm going to be going through all of this and more inside of the next episode. You guys should tune into that because it'll be really fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this read along. If you want to read everything, feel free to, purchase it on my Gumroad. I'll probably have links in the description box. And, thank you again for, sticking with me and laughing with me. This was fun. So deuces.